Hey guys, what's up? It's Tealbby Sims here, and I'm coming to you with a brand new video about Choice's latest release, Crimes of Passion, Chapter 6. Okay, so, first things first, gotta give PB their props for this book and this chapter. The chapter was amazing, and the book is amazing overall, but just really gotta highlight that PB came with it for this book. Like, they did what needed to be done. And I'm just so happy to see it. I feel like they are actually listening to the players when I see them put out content like this. First of all, the chapter was longer than usual, and I loved every minute of it. It was so freaking good. And the writing, the plot line where you can see that it's headed, the rapport that the main character and the love interest are building between one another. I mean, it's getting really, really good. I love this book, and I highly recommend that you, if you don't already have VIP, I would say that Crimes of Passion is worth getting VIP for. Just my little 2 cents, because it's really good. I know that we haven't had that many great books within the past 3 years or so, maybe a little longer than that, but I know it hasn't been that great within the past 3 years, but if you need a book to change your mind, Crimes of Passion is the one. Seriously. So, I would say that if you're wondering whether you should get VIP for Crimes of Passion and Wake the Dead, I recommend doing it. Highly recommend it. That being said, let me go ahead and give a disclaimer. This is obviously a Chapter 6 review, which means that there will be spoilers about Chapter 6 in this video. So if you have not seen my Chapter 6 Crimes of Passion walkthrough yet, go ahead and watch that and then come back to this video. Okay, so now that that's done, let's get into the review. So, let's see. Okay, so from the beginning, the main character walks back into the detective agency. Tristan's going to grab some coffee for them or whatever. She walks back into the detective agency. Mafalda is waiting for her, and so is her former employer, the captain of the NYPD. As you know, the main character used to be a police officer. So it's already some funk as soon as they get back from the governor's mansion. And so the NYPD captain is pretty upset because, the governor's mansion burned down. The main character was there. And of course, she wants somebody to point fingers at. And it's got to be the main character because she's the one who exposed her department for corruption. So, there's that. But, so basically she came there basically telling them, I don't want to see you around here. I don't want to see you investigating anything. I don't want you anywhere near this case. I don't want you anywhere near it. And so Mafalda had to let her know, first of all, we can investigate whatever we want to as long as it's within the parameters of the law. But the detective of the NYPD is not having it. So basically Mafalda told the main character, look, you got to do your job still, but don't even talk to any VIPs unless you know for sure that they're guilty. So that kind of put some restraints on her investigative abilities, but nevertheless you move forward. So I guess the NYPD captain is trying to cover for Mayor Brigham, dirty dog Mayor Brigham, who was cheating on his wife at the gala or the ball at the governor's mansion earlier in the night before it burned down, and he was cheating on her with Bethany Delgado, who ended up deceased at the end of Chapter 5. So clearly she's trying to cover for him. I'm not going to say that she knows who the killer is directly, because I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, but definitely putting politics before people and covering for Mayor Brigham and all of his dirty dog actions. So, anyway, so that's what's going on that front. Moving forward, we got to spend so much time with Ruby this chapter, and I loved it. Ruby is the nerdy black hottie that I didn't know I needed. So shout out to PB for making her character and bringing her character to life. She is one of my favorite characters, and I probably will say that on every Crimes of Passion review that I do, because Ruby is she is that girl, okay? But anyway, I just love that we got the chance to learn more about her and spend more time with Ruby this chapter. I'm a little sad that she's not a love interest, and that Luke is not a love interest either. But they have a thing going on, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes, because they kind of do make a cute couple. Like, I just think they're so adorable. But anyway, yeah, it was so great to just learn more about Ruby, her background. She's basically a genius, and she could be making a boatload more money working in pharmaceuticals, but it's just not her thing. You know, she's really introverted, and her family is more extroverted, and that kind of made her feel like an outcast. But she's just really smart and really capable, and just, like I said, she is that girl. So it was just so much fun being able to learn more about her. I can't wait to look at Luke's dossier. It'll be great to learn more about him, because he's got this whole hacker background thing, and I would love to know more about how he even got into that. I mean, I think they might have touched on it before, but we haven't read his dossier yet, so we really don't know that much about his background. So it'll be interesting to learn more about him as well in the future chapters. So we also got to spend more time with Tristan in this chapter. Let me not get too ahead of myself. So while Ruby and the main character were spending time together, they were testing the knife that they found at the governor's mansion, the knife that was used on Bethany Delgado. And so they, tested it for prints and all these different kind of forensic things. And so the main character headed back to the detective agency, because she is a workaholic and she never goes home. And so by the time Ruby heads back there in the morning, later that morning anyway, she doesn't really have too much more information, except that they need to find someone who can interpret these, like, not an inscription, but like these carvings on the knife that was used on Bethany. And, they need someone who speaks Gaelish. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Gaul. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. So anyway, they need someone who speaks that language, or can at least translate, interpret, what have you. So they do find someone in New York who can do that, which is great. And so he's a professor at some university in New York. And it was nice to see the university that they use for Belvoir. It was nice to see that again, especially since Queen Bee just ended. But anyway, so they see the professor, they talk to him about the markings and just what it could mean and all of these different things, and they gather more information from him about it. And they still need a bit more information, so he refers them to the archives that's located within the university. And this is where Tristan and the main character get to spend some more time together. Always flirtatious Tristan. So it was cute. The scene in the library was such a tease, but I loved it. Like I said, their romance is moving at an appropriate pace. It's not too fast paced. Tristan is overly flirtatious, and he has been since the very first chapter, but that's just his personality. I like the fact that the main character wasn't like head over heels for him by chapter 2, or all of her decisions are based on him by chapter 2. So, yeah, love it. It was really nice to spend some more time with Tristan this chapter. We did get to learn more about the whole fiance situation. The main character did ask him about his former fiance. They didn't really get too much information, except that Tristan said that they did their part, and that it was just supposed to be like a nice trip for their partner's birthday. And it just went wrong. Really, really wrong. And so Tristan didn't really say why they took the blame. They just said, essentially they said that, the public needed somebody to blame, so they took it on and they feel like they did their part. But I guess it was just too much for them to talk about. Maybe they were just feeling too emotional about everything, so they just didn't really want to talk about it. But eventually, I'm sure at some point they will. And so, yeah, that was pretty much the entire chapter, but it was so freaking good, you guys. I like it. I recommend that you, if you are wondering whether or not you should get VIP in order for you to read Crimes of Passion or Wake the Dead, I say yes. That is a hard yes for me, because this book is so good. If you have noticed that PB has fallen off, the writing hasn't been as good, you haven't gotten good books since at least 2019, and you're wondering if they're ever gonna get back to where they used to be, Crimes of Passion and Wake the Dead definitely give me hope. Crimes of Passion was so good this week, and I'm really happy that it was longer than usual. This chapter. I mean, every week I'm just more and more excited to read it, and I just can't wait to see where this book goes. As of right now, do I have any theories on like who the killer could be or who's going to be the next victim or anything like that? No, I don't have any predictions for that, but I can't wait to see where this book is headed. It's obviously really culty, like whatever is going on. There's some kind of weird human sacrifice cult. We learned that in chapter 6 by talking to the professor, just about, I guess, like, I don't know what era, but I guess like before Roman invasion, Gaul, and I hope I'm saying that right, or Gael, I don't know how to say that. I'm just gonna call it Gaul. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But anyway, I guess they used to do like what is it, like human sacrifice and, you know, cannibalism, and there's like a 3-headed god and like the hunt or whatever, like, so it's like a 3-headed god, and there's the goddess of the hunt, the crone, and another one that I can't remember off the top of my head, but it you know, they control whether it's going to be a good hunt or a bad hunt or whatever. And I guess like there's different forms of like tribute or sacrifice you could give the god or whatever. And so like some of them is like jewelry. And one of the things that I guess like the most preferred to this 3-headed god or whatever, the most preferred form of sacrifice is I guess like human sacrifice, or maybe it's like blood or something like that, but from like a vital organ, which explains why they're cutting out hearts. I don't know, you guys. I mean, it's pretty crazy, but I love the mystery to this book, and I love that it makes you want to actually be invested in the book and figure out like what the hell is going on, you know, like who is doing this crazy stuff, who is literally drugging people and cutting out their hearts. Now in the book, you could choose what you thought the reason was for the killer killing people, and I said that I thought it was worship, because it just seems like this is a really religious type thing. Like the main character said, it seemed like nobody was supposed to see the killings. This was supposed to be specifically like some sort of like weird ritual sacrifice type thing going on. So anyway, yeah, basically that wraps up the whole chapter. It was really, 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 really good. And I can't wait for chapter 7. If PB would do more of this right here. This is what we love to see. The characters are lovable. The plot is really good. And every week it just gets better and better. So I'm really hoping that, you know, if this book gets really good engagement and reviews, that's another thing, you guys. I think one of the reasons why, and I'll probably do a separate video on this, but I think one of the reasons why PB has really gravitated towards the like steamy and romantic books that kind of primarily focus on, you know, is because that's where most of their revenue comes from. And so that's what, I mean, they're making money off of it. So that's what they put more out of. But, you know, if you can really like bring up the engagement with Crimes of Passion and Wake the Dead, they'll start putting out better books like that. Like, it's not just us complaining on Tumblr or Twitter or sending them emails or whatnot, which that is doing something, you know what I'm saying? We are making our voices heard and making our discontent known, but at the same time, they need to see engagement, and they need to see that with books that actually have depth and character, not just like the really, really steamy ones. Because, you know, I've seen a lot of people go back and forth on Tumblr, and, you know, you have some people who thoroughly enjoy the smut and the filth, and they're like, yeah, you know, I mean, you're saying that PB is only putting out, you know, these steamy books, but clearly that's what their demographic likes the most. And it's not at all. But when they see, so I guess like it's like engagement versus lack of engagement. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see most people gravitating towards this one genre, and then like, you know, people who actually enjoy the really, really good books that actually have some quality content, you know, they're engaging less and less with the app. Well, now you have all these people who just want to read all this smut and this filth, and they're making it seem like all the engagement goes here. So I say, you know, I'm not telling anyone what to do, but personally, I'm going to be replaying like Hero, Most Wanted, what is it? Endless Summer, Bloodbound, and all kinds of things, because their engagement needs to go up. That's why I'm saying, if you guys are on the fence about whether or not you should do VIP, and you feel like, I don't want to waste my money on that, and this, that, and the other, if you engage with the books, if you engage with the content, the really good content, PB will make more of it, because they followed the money. I mean, it's clear that they're not going to just listen to our complaints. They're going to follow the money. So if we start engaging more with the books that have good content, they will be forced to listen to us. That's what it looks like has been going on for the past 3 years. So I say that it's time for the community to change up its strategy. Instead of sending them hate mail, which, you know, can be a bit cathartic, but instead of sending them hate mail and, you know, letting them know, oh, this sucks, that sucks, you suck, whatever, engage with the books that you want to see. And I'm telling you, Crimes of Passion is really good for those who feel like, I'm on the fence about this book. It's supposed to, I know that in the description for the book that it says, what does it say? Does it say like mystery, sexy, crime, whatever? Right. And there, it is, but it's, what's the word? It's classy though, you know, and like, it's not smut. It's not filth. It's, you know, like I said, appropriate timing, and you can see them building their relationship, and it's like a tease, you know what I'm saying? It makes you want more. It makes you go, oh, I can't wait for the next chapter. Because in this chapter, Tristan actually admitted to the main character in the beginning. They were like, I was scared for you when you went back into the, you know, the governor's mansion and everything. And, you know, thank you for going back in there with me, because I don't have many people in my life who would do that. And so, you know, it's building that relationship so that when we actually get to the point to where, you know, they confess their feelings from one another and whatnot, that it'll actually feel like, you know, we waited for this. So yeah, anyway, you guys engage with the books that you want to read. Gotta, like, even if you're rereading some of your favorite books, which I will be doing, because I actually don't have any of my like absolute all-time favorite books besides Wake the Dead and Crimes of Passion, but any of my all-time favorite books that were released in 2016, 2017, and 2018 and whatnot, I don't have any of those books up on my channel. So I mean, I need to put those up there anyway. So I'm going to be replaying them. I hope that you guys will engage with Crimes of Passion and Wake the Dead. If you hear anything negative about those books, I won't say that it's, I won't tell you what to believe and say that it's not true. But I would say at least like play a chapter or two for yourself, because honestly, I thought Wake the Dead was going to be like a ripoff of The Walking Dead. And to be honest, I haven't watched every single season or every single episode of The Walking Dead, but I have watched enough. I've watched enough seasons and I've seen enough episodes to know that if they were copying it word for word, bar for bar, that it would be whatever. It's not like that at all. It definitely is its own zombie book. I mean, there's some similarities, but I think that it would be typical if you were living in any zombie apocalypse type, you know, era, genre, whatever it is. So, you know, it's definitely not just like a ripoff, like some of those books were. I won't name names, but I think y'all know which ones I'm talking about. But yeah, for sure, I say give Crimes of Passion, give Wake the Dead a chance, and also replay some of the books that have really good content, quality characters, and good high quality writing in it. Go ahead and replay those books and engage with those books so that PB can see that this is where the revenue is, and not with all the like overly steamy and sultry books. So yeah, anyway, that's my 2 cents. So thanks you guys so much for watching.